This segment is probably brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone prepare fee. What gadgets are you looking for? You know, I ask this question all the time because sometimes we are looking for the gadgets, we don't know where to go to because there are so many fraudsters in town. We tell you, worry no more. At Franco Trading Enterprise, we've got you covered. All you need to do is to visit any of our shops, and we are located anywhere that you could think of. We are there. You can actually pick the number on your screen right now. You see the number projected on the screen? Yes, that is our number. You can pick the number and call us to make things very simple. You can download the app on your phone, which is Franco Trading app. You download it and you just go through it, pick anything that you want, and we'll deliver it to you at your doorstep. For further inquiries, go to www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone prepare fee. Now today we are going to take a look into two different conversations. The main one is to do with here, since we have a barely 35 days to go cast our votes. And we are still campaigning, you know. We've given almost all the political parties the platform to campaign. And so far, there are 13 persons on the ballot paper. And so who will you vote for? We don't know. But it's up to you to go and vote for who you think should govern, will be able to govern Ghana the way that you want Ghana to be governed. And so when you go there, cast your votes according to your choice, not according to any manipulations. Now, we'll also take a look at the Youth Manifesto, which I spoke about earlier. Yesterday, we started the conversation, and so today we are continuing with the conversation, and my guest are here for that. Before I introduce them to you, I'll tell you about the next one as well, which is to do with the America polls. Since Monday, our eyes have been fixated there. And as of Monday, with regards to the earlier voting, it was at par. They both had 49%. And then the main voting started yesterday. Now, as of this morning, Donald Trump is leading. It's quite surprising to a lot of people, I must say, because they've seen the celebrities following Kamala Harris. They've seen, it's more or less like the system was sort of behind Kamala. That's what people were saying. And all of a sudden, there's a shocker. Nobody thought that it would be this, you know, gap. They thought, if anything, it would be just like 1%. But the gap is quite huge. Well, they're not done yet. They still have some more to go. And so once they are done, we'll be able to tell who is the official president-elect of the United States of America. We'll be going to our colleague who is situated at the American Embassy very soon to speak to him to get us every detail with regards to what is happening there. And then we'll speak to Isaac Kofiejay, who is a data analyst, my colleague. He will tell us exactly what the statistics looks like, if Kamala will be able to pull some shocker at the last minute or not. And so you ought to stay glued to your television set for that. But don't forget to send in your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757, and let's hear what you have. We are also streaming live on Facebook, which is Joy Prime TV. So be a part of the conversation this morning. Let me introduce to you my guest, and I have with me Emmanuel Ameklenu, who is representing the NPP. Hi, Emmanuel.
Hello, Roslyn.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I told you that, Charlie, you guys now the branding there. You don't lie, you.
It's not really branded, but it's just to, you know.
It's branded. Like you're wearing the cap.
Our flag bearer. Yeah. So I don't think it's branded. It's just one of those things, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, I like your appearance.
You like my appearance?
The red is good. And from where I come from, when you put on red, and it means indeed you are number 9. And everything red. Have you been in cadet back in school before? Oh, you've not? Oh, there's this song we used to sing. I was a 2IC, second in command. So those days we Adia Kokobia Ede. So everything red is so beautiful.
Okay, like Alewa.
Well, I have not tasted Alewa before.
Oh, you've never tasted Alewa?
No, I have not tasted
My God, you've missed a lot.
I'm not a fan of toffees and all of that.
Okay. Alewa is one of the nicest.
Oh, I see. That's why your red is so beautiful. And I'm admiring it this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you. And for the first time being here, I have Dr. Sami Aye, who is NDC spokesperson on youth development. Hi, Doc.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We can't complain.
Good. Today to branded proper.
Thank you very much. Good morning to our viewers and those streaming on Facebook. And I want to say a very good morning to you from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I've taken notice of the trend in the USA election. I think that the people have spoken. The people have spoken quite loudly that they need change. When the people are inundated with the harsh economic, conditions in the country, the only option they have is to vote for change. And the people of USA have spoken. They have voted for change. And it is quite surprising that a former president has now, or is now, coming back to the White House. It is my prayer that on December 7, the people of Ghana will vote massively for change. They will vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to return to the Flagstaff House, to redirect the ship of state that is destined to fall over the precipice if the NPP is not voted out of power.
All right. I'll read what the newspapers have for us before we delve into our topics. And the first one is the Custodian newspaper. The Custodian, I start with the Custodian newspaper. Tampuli predicts one-touch victory for NPP. And he's the MP for Gushegu under the NPP watch. MIIF changes narrative on Ghana's mineral resources. Protect judiciary from illegal pressures, AG to GBA. Labadi Beach Hotel pays 16.5 billion Ghana cedis dividend to SNIT. And this, we've been speaking about it. I think it was even trending yesterday because people just couldn't understand how a company or a hotel that was supposed to have been sold barely 6 months ago has this kind of turnaround. Anyway, Razak Kojo Opoku answers Mohammed's 5 questions, and that is it for the Custodian newspaper. The next newspaper is the Ghanaian publisher, the Ghanian. Tampuli predicts a one-touch victory for Baumia. Dr. Nick Danso makes a 3 entrepreneur wins in a row. Friday, 8th November, not a holiday, Interior Minister says so. And yes, it's something that we were discussing amongst ourselves yesterday, and everybody was thinking, okay, Friday is a holiday, Friday is a holiday. People were saying they're going to the beach. You ain't going to the beach, honey. You're going to work. Interior Minister says it's not a holiday. We're going to work. Wisconsin University grabs Cybersecurity Award. And that will be it for the Ghanaian publisher newspaper. My final newspaper is the Daily Dispatch newspaper. The Daily Dispatch, Baumia outlines 8 initiatives to create 4 million jobs for the youth if elected. And of course, since we're going to be talking about the youth, this is very, very important that we put it on the table. Mahama's lack of understanding of digitalization is worrying, says Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. IGP Dampare has transformed the police training school, and this is coming from Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And so that will be it for the Daily Dispatch newspaper, which happens to be my final newspaper. Now, today we are taking a look at 2 things, and my main one is to do with the youth manifestos for both political parties. Yesterday, we took a look at what the NDC has to offer the youth if voted into power. And just because we couldn't get the NPP rep in the studio to also tell us what they have to offer. And so today, by God's grace, we have the NPP here to tell us what they also have to offer. And of course, the NDC is here as well to continue to hammer down or water down what they really want to offer for us to understand it. And then we'll take a look at what is happening in America as they are deciding. The decision is still ongoing. They finished voting, though, but counting is ongoing. So we'll get to know who becomes the next president of the United States of America. And so I'm going to start with this particular one, which is to do with the youth. The youth, what promises these political parties are making to the youth. And now when you take a look at the ratio of the youth that have to vote, they are way more in percentage as compared to those who are out of the youth bracket. And so there's a lot of attention on the youth. The youth have complained about unemployment, and that's the biggest cry with more young people out there, unemployment. And another thing they complain about is accommodation. However, it is the unemployment bit that is a bit concerning, because if you have a job, you can definitely get a place to put your head. And Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has outlined 8 initiatives to create 4 million jobs for the youth if elected. So I want to just read a little bit about what he says he's going to do for the youth if elected. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to find it. Page 12, okay? I go over to page 12. All right, so it says that the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has engaged with Ghanaian youth at the Boteman Sports Complex in Accra, presenting his plans to prioritize youth development and welfare. Should he be elected president, Dr. Bawumia emphasized his commitment to empowering the youth through 3 key pillars: education, training skills, and job creation. Now, here are the 8 initiatives that he's saying. Job creation. Dr. Bawumia underscored the need for a stable economic environment to foster business growth and job creation. Now, his government would create a supportive environment for the private sector, which he called the engine of growth, and leverage private sector partnership to reduce government spending on infrastructure projects. I'll start with this, and then we'll be going into, various ones as well. So I want to start with this. Now, Emmanuel, since this is your political party, since this is your flag bearer, and your flag bearer is saying with regards to job creation, is going to make sure the private sector is empowered to be able to absorb more youth in there. Do you think this is no, you definitely say this is the right way to go though. But don't you think that empowering our government sector will also be able to absorb some youth in there? Because we have so many government agencies that are struggling as of now.
Well, thank you very much, Rosalind. A very good morning to you once again and to your church viewers. And then a very good morning to my good friend from the other side, Dr. Ayi. I think that this morning is a beautiful morning because what is happening in the America, wherever it goes, NPP has taken it, whether it goes to the Republicans or it goes to the Democrats. NPP will take it, but I'm sure I will emphasize on that when we get to that aspect. That notwithstanding, I bring you greetings from His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, who is currently in the Ashanti region, and today happens to be his 3rd day in the Ashanti region, and I must say that I'm so impressed about the overwhelming reception that they've given to the Vice President, who happens to be our flag bearer, and come hot December 7th, he will be elected as the next president of the Republic of Ghana. You see, I think that the people of the Ashanti region has given that sort of overwhelming welcome because of the numerous projects that has been done. Key among them is the the Kumasi International Airport Phase 2 that has been done. And in fact, it's not compared to somebody who has just faced floodlights on the floor and just said that I've done international airport. When you compare that to what is being done today, or what we have today, you realize that there is a vast difference, and it is an eye-opener for everybody who is in the Ashanti region. They welcome the idea of having an international airport. Again, construction of hospitals, and then the construction of the 22 ultra-modern units for Court of Appeal judges. So there are numerous projects that has been, constructed or that has been embarked on in the Ashanti region, and I think that is actually pulling the strings in terms of welcoming the Vice President. So for me, kudos to the good people of the Ashanti region for showing love to your own. Indeed, they have demonstrated that he's not neglected them, but rather he is a true and proper son of theirs, and for that matter, they need to give him all the needed support. And I'm not surprised that all the places he's been to so far, the chiefs keep saying that, in fact, your humility, your way of, responding to things, you don't insult your opponent. It's something that is commendable. So kudos to our flag bearer, our leader for today, who is embarking on the 18-day tour within the Ashanti region. I will not be surprised that comes 7th December, the votes that will come out of the Ashanti region will tell us that indeed Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has done well. And you see, one interesting thing is that I've not forgotten your question. One interesting thing is that it's not the only one campaigning. There are other places that the other officers are also campaigning. We have the running mate who is also in the Bono, is doing fantastically well in Bono. So it tells you that the people are in tune with the messages that we are preaching. Now come to your question that has to do with providing a friendly environment for the private partners. You were asking why not support the public.
Why not build?
Why not build or boost the government institutions
to be able to absorb these young ones?
I think that government, as it stands today, has always deliberately been supporting both private and public institutions. However, our flag bearer thinks that this is the time, this is the most credible time, more importantly, knowing very well that the youth of this country needs job. Of course, we've not been able to, fulfill all our promises. We will not say that we are Pope or we are saints, we've done everything. No, all has not been done. So the best thing to do is to partner with private agencies. Now, how do you do that? In partnering with them, one of the things you can do is to ensure that you have a very flexible ground for them to be able to operate. Now, when you have that flexible ground for them, you need to give them some sort of incentives. Now, giving them incentives helps them to boost their business. If you are unable to do that and they struggle on their own, then it means that the number of people you are looking at absorbing into the system, they will not be able to do that. So government, what ordinarily he is saying is that he will ensure that when we come to power, come January 7th, when he's handed over to, he will see to it that he partners with the private agencies, give them incentives that will boost their businesses.
Like what, tax incentives?
Of course, tax incentives. Of course, don't also forget that already he said that he's going to grant all businesses tax amnesty. So what it means is that everybody is going to start from ground zero. So that will also, again, boost up the businesses. More businesses will be rolled on. So what it means is that we need to bring in more people. We need to rope in more people to, work in the development of this nation. And it is not just about the private businesses. One of the key things that he's also going to look at has to do with the over 75,000 people that will be recruited into the health sector, or staff that will be recruited into the health area. Now, currently we have Agenda 111 that is going on. By close of this month, we should have at least 30 of them commissioned. I know of few that has been commissioned when you go to...
You've commissioned some of the Agenda 111?
Of course, Okre Hospital. Oh, yeah, you've not heard of that? Okre in the eastern region, within the, that is Honorable Dan Boche's constituency. Agenda 111 has been commissioned in that place. There are few of them that has also...
How many have been commissioned so far?
Like I said, so far, I've been able to tell you that one has been commissioned, but within the close of this month, we'll be having 30 of them that will be commissioned as a whole. But we believe that...
So if it's Agenda 111 and at the end of the month we are commissioning 30, let's roughly say we've done 40, we haven't even done 50%.
That is not the point. The point is that we must ensure that all these hospitals, you were in this country where we encountered the challenges 2020. So it's a step-by-step process. Yes, of course,
Agenda 111 came after 2020. Agenda 111 didn't come when the challenges of 2020
so it's as a result of the challenge that came.
And so that promise was, you see, the thing is, we're talking about the things that will be done for the youth. And when Agenda 111 was brought in, there was a promise that once it comes in, there will be job creation. We're talking about job creation. Unfortunately, I've taken a bit of your time, so I'll give it to you just 2 minutes when you have to learn.
Okay.
Now, we talk about Agenda 111, which was supposed to create jobs. Again, we were told as of that time, Agenda 111 was going to be completed last year. It was never completed last year. We're told it was going to be completed first quarter of this year, it wasn't. Second quarter of this year, it wasn't. And now we are hearing, about 30 will be commissioned before the end of the month, when we have the barely 35 days to go and cast our vote. And now, again, it's being told in the campaign promise that Agenda 111 will expand it to create 72,000 jobs for young people out there. As a young person, I'll be wondering, how do I put my trust in this?
You can put your trust in this because this is a man who has never been investigated by his president before. This is a man who, for the first time, he has not... There is no reason for you to have distrust for him. This is a man...
But this is government.
This is government.
This is his government.
This is his government. But have you heard of him being investigated before? No.
It's not about that. It's about
it all talks about integrity. He is a man of integrity. He is a man of substance that we believe, and I believe that at the end of the day, every single comment, every single submission he has made, as far as Agenda 111 is concerned, he said what? By the grace of the Almighty Allah or Almighty God, he voted for
he will see to it that over 75,000 people are recruited into the sector. And that tells you that, of course, he is not running away from the fact that...
If Agenda 111 had been completed beginning of the year, would you have employed this number of people?
Of course, that is true. But don't also forget that building is a process. You cannot just sit in your house and think that you manufacture a project. No.
Okay,
and you know there have been challenges with some areas in terms of this building. So I think that let's just go by what is currently going on. And it should be our prayer that by close of this month, the 30 that we are expecting to be commissioned will be commissioned. And trust me, I am very convinced that beyond just partnering with the private sector and the recruitment within the health sector, I am extremely convinced that there are other things that I'm sure I'll be talking about, the digital aspect and all of that.
I'll definitely come to you again. Dr. Aye, let's take a look at, your take on what we just discussed, and then I can...
Oh, of course. There's no doubt that indeed one of the most difficult jobs to do now is to defend the NPP. It is even difficult. It is easier to defend Satan than to defend the NPP. I sat here for the past 10 minutes waiting for my brother to tell us exactly what Dr. Bawumia has done and what he can do. Your guess is as good as mine that unfortunately that has not been done. He went around in circles and was unable to do that. It is about the economy. No matter how you stretch the debate, it's about the economy. The Ghanaian economy has been completely destroyed under a man who was waxing lyrical about a certain supposed capability in economic management, only for him to be made the head of Ghana's economic management team, as said by President Kufuor. He has recorded the worst economic outturns ever in the history of Ghana. It is instructive to note that for the first time in history, 1 million Ghanaians who did not live ostentatious, lavish lives, who saved their monies, who were financially and economically prudent, saved their monies. Some of them saved 1 million Ghana cedis, 2 million Ghana cedis, 3 million Ghana cedis, and gave it to government in the form of government bonds. For the first time in the history of Ghana, these 1 million people have been told to go to hell. They have been told.
Who told them to go to hell?
Government. They said they will not pay their interest today, they will not pay tomorrow, they will pay in the next 15 to 20 years. It has never happened in the history of Ghana. So for the first time, pensioners...
Wasn't it more of a plea
No,
to the people?
no,
It was
no,
more of a plea.
no,
It wasn't like telling them in their faces that you can go to hell. Because when you use such words and somebody's at home, the person will think that, yes, they were told go to hell. Maybe you're using figurative speech.
If you buy a bond and you are told that on a yearly basis you receive your interest, and at the end of the day you are told that whether you like it or not, you are being added to the domestic debt exchange program, because the people did not have the option to back out. They were told that they are compulsorily going to be added to the domestic debt exchange program. These people have lost their 61 billion Ghana cedis in the draconian domestic debt exchange program. For the first time, you had pensioners, 60 years, 70 years, holding walking aids, picketing at the finance ministry, demanding for their monies. We have people who need chronic medications, diabetic, hypertensive medications.
But when it comes to the jobs that he says he's going to create, let's take a look at it.
Please.
Please, what?
I will not use 1 minute to even dismiss that, because the facts are clear. On a daily basis, depending on who you listen to in the NPP, whether it is the minister or Bawumia himself, you hear a different employment figure. I'll give you evidence. Hold on. I'm giving you evidence. On September 2022, the Minister for Employment, he said the government had employed 5.3 million Ghanaians. Meanwhile, on November 15, 2023, it had reduced from 5.3 to 2.3, as said by Konoforiata. That is the first contradiction. On 7 February, Bawumia himself told Ghana that the government had created 2.1 million jobs, which he was fact-checked and proven to be a lie, because it was not corroborated by the Senate documentation. You are aware of it. Meanwhile, on the 18th of September, exactly 10 days afterwards, he said the employment figure had moved from 2.1 to 2.3, the same Bawumia. On the 26th of September 2024, when he met the press, a week after he delivered his manifesto, he said he had now come to 2.1 again. From 2.1 to 2.3, now to 2.1. Then he met the youth at Boteman, and he said now it is 2.6. So depending on who you listen to in the NPP, you get a different employment figure. But the Ghana Statistical Service, a constitutionally mandated entity that tells Ghana about our employment situation, says that 2 million Ghanaians do not have jobs. If you have created 5.3 million, why do we have unemployment rate increasing from 8% in 2016 to 14% in 2023?
There's been more children born.
Please. Are the children, are they unemployed? Are they part of the employment?
Some of the young people are now
please.
In their
you know that it is a lie. The moment you listen to that, you know. Because he was fact-checked by Fact Check Ghana and told that it was a blatant lie. It is a malaise that has struck the NPP government that on a daily basis, they peddle outrageous lies to the people of Ghana. Look, not only have they been lying about the employment figure,
a minute more though.
They have actually collapsed companies that were actually employing the people of Ghana. Do you know that because of the over 40 taxes imposed on the people of Ghana, companies like Glovo, Lipton, Cargill, Big Pen, and Daka Lovely have fled Ghana because of high economic situation and very, very harsh, unfriendly business environment in Ghana because of the taxes they have introduced. So you are not creating any employment. When other people create employment, because of your, inept government and inept economic management, companies are collapsing. Look, yesterday I saw the topic that Joy Prime brought. It is about what the young people in Ghana need. What do the youth need? The youth need sustainable employment opportunities that will allow them eke out a decent living. Okay. Can I ask you, NAPCO, has it been sustainable?
I'll come back to you. Your time is up. I'll come back to you for you to tell me exactly what you think the youth of Ghana need with regards to that. But Ima, again, for people just to be convinced, we know that he's never been president before. However, the campaign promises are quite juicy, I must say. And so the implementation, apart from the tax incentives that is being promised, what else is it that Ghanaians should believe in? Yes, for me, again, it boils back to this Agenda 111 thing where the health sector could have been done. It's not been done. It's now a part of campaign promises. So what can the Ghanaian youth hear now to know that this is feasible?
Well, thank you very much once again. First and foremost, I heard my brother talk about the employment figures. And I'm not surprised that he's, trying to make mockery of what a flag bearer said, because yesterday I heard his leader also making such analysis. It's only surprising that where we have gotten to, we fail to advance in terms of research. I think that the flag bearer did not speak out of vacuum. He was very emphatic. He said that his latest update from SNIT. I think that this is what we should be questioning, the figures from SNIT, than questioning what he's providing to us. He has been provided with figures. He actually received the figures from the people and works with the people. So what is the question of this is the man who cannot be trusted, the figures are liars? No. I think that they should spare us this jargons, he's a liar and all of that. Yeah, we know them. We know what they are up to. Again, he said something over here, and I'll remind him of, if he doesn't know, probably he joined the NDC not long ago. And by then, probably he was fixated into the medical training, so he did not actually, observe what went through in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. Is that what? Collapse of companies. In this country, who had collapsed companies that John Dramani Mahama? Who in this country? We were in this country 10 years ago when there was massive doom swap. Companies have to fold up and leave this country. Businesses were closed down. I'm sure he has his family member who equally
lost his job out of these businesses that were closed. And you sit on this set, you want to paint that what? Is it not in this country? Has it not experienced what we went through 2020? So is it by nature that he is telling us that Akufo-Addo created what happened? This is a natural disaster that occurred, for Christ's sake.
Which one is the natural disaster?
So the COVID, was it man-made?
No. It's not that. I'm asking, which is it the DD?
I am talking. No. I am talking about the COVID.
Okay.
The COVID that happened, was it created by us? It was a global crisis
what
that
about the
happened.
DDEP?
Oh, please, I'm building a point, please.
Okay.
It was a global crisis that happened. And when this happened, we are not seeing this in just Ghana. It affected every facet of every economy. Even the US, that we glamour over them as the best nation. They are facing the challenges. So why would they sit and then always they want to make it look like we are
that's
collapsing?
One of the reasons why Kamala is struggling.
You see, I have always said that the dynamics are different.
But you just
if you look at the trend, let me tell you, if you look at the trend, ever since they started voting, it has always been the same. But in 2020, they voted for what? The Democrats. And we voted for what? The Republicans. So you should look at it.
We voted Republicans?
We voted for, how do you call it? Akufo-Addo, and then against Biden. These are two different parties. The center right and then the center left. These are two different parties that are coming into the same. So it tells you that the dynamics are never the same. I have heard people saying that if it goes to the other side, it means that they have taken it. It is not true. I have said time and time that anywhere it will go, it is the NPP. But what I want you to understand is that if we are talking about, with regards to what he said, the collapsing of companies and all of that, in this country, there is a history that we all know. Even a class 1 child who has just been taught digitalization can Google and tell you that there are a number of businesses that closed down during John Mahama's era. So you should not sit here and make it look like it is how do you call it, Akufo-Addo and his vice that has closed up businesses. No, of course, we know that this did not go well in terms of the crisis that happened. I don't make it look as if, because you did the West. Now,
so both political parties is at fault, is it?
But we are better off than them.
Okay.
We are better off than them. That is what I want you to understand. Okay. Now, you asked to find out that who can be trusted. With all that he said, how can the youth of this nation trust him? I have said it time and time that the youth of this nation, they can read, they can write, they understand. You see, 10 years ago, that those who did not see what John Dramani Mahama did to this nation, they are the one whom he is trying to convince. But we'll remind them of what Mahama did during his era. And one of them...
But isn't that the reason why they are in opposition, though?
Because
for me, I just want to know. I just want to know. I'll let you have the time, but I just want to know. In 2016, Ghanaians voted massively for the NPP, reason that Mahama had failed them. And they went into opposition. Why do we keep making reference? Oh, and John Mahama, he's in opposition. You are in power. And so how are you convincing the people to keep you in power?
You see, what you may probably not understand is that they keep referring to things that they claim are worse. But we want to remind them that they did worse things. And one of the worst things that they did is what I'm talking about. Doing so in the history of this country is the worst we have ever gone through.
Why didn't you just correct all their worst and give us the good? Why did
today,
you come in
we are better off as far as our lives are concerned than during the Mahama era.
Why did you repeat a few of their mistakes?
What are those few mistakes?
You actually said that the companies closed down under his era, which is fair enough for you to say they went into opposition because of that. Now for you, again, you have shut companies. We went to DDEP and all of that because of that. And with regards to that, why are we facing this? Because you came in to fix a problem. Why do we have to go through this under you? Because you promised not to give us that.
I am sure if we are to list the number of companies that have folded up, I'm sure that you come in terms with me that, of course, what happened in John Dramani's era is far, far worse off than what we experience today. And they'll appreciate the magnitude of it because the situations.
Do you have a number
varied.
of companies that will?
I don't have that data with me now. They will tell you that the situation varies. But you see, the reason why they have to trust him is because I have said time and time that anytime I meet any NDC person, I'll put it to the person. Before he leaves here, he keeps laughing. He should just mention 5 policies that John Dramani Mahama came out with as a vice president and as a president. He should distinguish them. Just 5 policies, and I appreciate that a lot. His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, he has been able to outline 33 good policies. How many have they been able to initiate? Not even a single one.
Okay.
When we started with this digitalization, they started claiming name for it, that it is theirs, it is theirs. What have they done?
All right, thank you.
What have they done?
All right.
Thank you very much. So
Yeah.
I will respond to some of the claims. Not all of them will I respond to because some of them are clear. Our viewers know the facts. You see, it is bad to blame COVID for whatever you are going through. But it does not make sense when people listen to you rehash COVID over and over again for the reason why you have failed.
But COVID was
Look, hold on. They say the devil lies in the details. I'm asking you a question. If you go out for shopping and you spend...
Are you asking the viewers or
you? I'm asking you.
But I'm the host.
Yes, but I'm asking you. So viewers, you are listening to me. If you go out with 1,200 Ghana cedis for shopping, and you come home and the person has gifted you 3,000 Ghana cedis, what are you left with? You have a profit of 18,800 cedis. Do you know why I'm saying this? During COVID-19, the finance minister told us that they spent 12 billion Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, the same finance minister told us that because of COVID, they had a profit of 30 billion Ghana cedis. How do you get a profit of 18 billion Ghana cedis because of COVID? And come and cry to the whole country that COVID is the reason why you are suffering. It does not make mathematical sense. Any carefully reasoning, objective-minded person watching me this morning knows that this claim does not make sense. That is why Kamala Harris has lost in the US. Because they keep on rehashing COVID as an excuse. While the people can see through lenses that you are lying to them. Look, if you want to know how a government has been affected by an external shock, look at their taxes. Do you know that in 2020, NPP projected to get 45 billion from revenue? Do you know how much they got? 47. You projected to get 45, but you had 47, a profit of 2 billion. Then you come and sit on TV and insult people. Why? Don't we know that? But it is clear that you had COVID was a miracle to you. How do you come and tell us that because of COVID you are suffering? Don't you know that their vice chairman for Northern Region, Felicia Tete, told us that they took COVID money, gave her 1 billion, gave a parliamentary candidate 1 billion, gave the constituency 1 billion, and every constituency executive another 1 billion from COVID money.
Ghana cedis or dollars?
Ghana cedis, 100,000 Ghana cedis each. Why? The Auditor General, have you not read that report from COVID-19 audit? It smells and stinks of corruption. It was an avenue for government officials to line their pocket with state kitty. Government money was shared like confetti. So please, you can continue to do that, but the ordinary people watching us know that what you are saying does not make sense. And it has happened in the US. That is why Kamala has lost. And they will lose, and Bawumia will lose in the December 7, 2024 election. That one is there. I will not even talk about it. Look, where we have gotten to, we are not here for blame games. The people of Ghana watching us know who solved Dumso. In 2007, when Ghana was struck with Dumso, do you know what Kufuor did? He went and paraded pastors from Suhum, Apeja, Tolong, Sanerigu to go to Akosobo to go and pray so that the rains will fall.
So let me ask you this.
So at that time, there was no sustainable permanent solution to Dumso. John Mahama came and said in his 2015 State of the Nation, and I want to land on this point, that he will take the bull by his horn. He is a responsible leader. He will not parade pastors. He will go and bring Ameri, Car Power, Amandi, Send Power, and Asogli Phase 2 to solve Dumso. Indeed, he solved Dumso for Bawumia to go and sit in the studio of Joy FM and said that John Mahama solved Dumso, but I will not clap for him. That is what Bawumia said. John Mahama, as visionary as he was, left as Esla Energy Sector Levy Act. It was a machinery for government to rake in money so that we can pay all our legacy debts. NPP comes into power and uses that money for other things that are not related to energy. Today, do you know why they are doing so? They do not have money to buy fuel to power the power plants. Neither do they have money to pay the independent power producers. That is why last week, Asogli Phase 2 shut down. And Ghana was in a deficit of 500 megawatts of power. So John Mahama was visionary to leave you money. You came and spent the money. And you are sitting on TV waxing lyrical. What have you done about doing so? Can you mention one plan that your party has
Wait,
brought?
let's talk about.
So let's move to youth.
Youth.
Yes.
I want to know.
You see,
what plans do you have for
it is as simple as that. There are 3 problems confronting the youth of Ghana. 1, the issue of unemployment. Unemployment has increased from 8% to 14.7%.
What's your plan to
bridge
that gap?
John Mahama has made it clear that under the 24 hours economy, there is a deliberate government intervention to 1, increase production, 2, to change Ghana from an import substituted export-led economy. What it means is that he set up the Exim Bank. The proceeds from Exim Bank will be used to support businesses that so wishes. Businesses that have the competitive and comparative advantage to run a 24-hour shift to increase their productivity and to increase foreign exchange. That's what John Mahama said. John Mahama is projecting that 1 million young people will benefit from the 24 hours economy. This is a policy that will give them sustainable employment that will allow them to eke out a decent living. That is why when the TUC, AGI, and professors head this policy, this policy is a game changer. This is a policy that it's well thought through. We are helping businesses reduce their production costs by introduction of specialized smart meters known as the time of use meters. These are meters that are recalibrated such that at a point in time in a day or day of the week you use that meter, you will pay a cheaper electricity cost so that production costs will be reduced and companies can work more and produce more. That is one policy John Mahama has mentioned. John Mahama has also mentioned that as part of his efforts to increase employment, he is bringing up the Ejumawura policy. And this is a beautiful policy to aid startups. If you are a young person watching me this morning, John Mahama said, look, when you go on social media, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, young people are online doing business. Some of them need just about 1,000 cedis, 2,000 cedis, 5,000 cedis to make sure that they boost their businesses. Under the Ejumawura policy, John Mahama has said that yearly or annually, he's helping 10,000 useful startups with some small monies in order to boost their businesses. That's one policy John Mahama has mentioned. John Mahama has mentioned that under the Young Entrepreneur Microfinance Institution, he is getting a seed fund of 750 million Ghana cedis so that we support young people's businesses. Now, John Mahama has said that one of the difficulties of young people is inequitable education. Look, today, John Mahama has said that he wants to improve free SHS. Why? Because today, when you go to the schools, they are still running double track. Why are they running double track? Because government has not invested heavily in making sure that more dormitories and classroom blocks are built in order to curtail that. He's saying that when he comes, he is a nation builder, he is known for building. He will, as a matter of urgency, abolish the double track in secondary schools by building more structures to accommodate the students. He's also saying that he will create a fund, he will streamline a fund for free SHS so that we will actually delineate monies to fund free SHS. He is saying that he will decentralize the feeding contracts of free SHS so that it will not be from centralized government. Within your district, within your constituency, within your catchment area, there is a dedicated group that is being given the contract to help with feeding. John Mahama has also said that because of the harsh economic difficulties parents are facing, he is bringing a policy we call no fee stress policy. All first-year students in public tertiary institutions, whether it's a training college, whether it is a polytechnic, whether it is a nursing training or university, all first-year students in public tertiary institutions will not pay admission fees in 2025. John Mahama has said, again, one of the difficulties confronting young people in tertiary institutions is the issue of high cost of accommodation. He said that under the Bed for All program. He will partner, government will partner private institutions and private agencies so that we can build affordable housing system. In fact, I wish to send this picture. I went to K University.
Wait, so let me ask you a few questions here, and to do with what you're saying. Why is it that every time somebody's given a campaign promise, we don't have the situation where government should be a continuum? However, we hear things like, oh, I'm going to start this, I'm going to start that. Yesterday, I had a viewer send me a message, and the question is, what is going to happen to we the NAPCO trainees? Now, if they started something and people are struggling with it, why don't you just fix it?
Let me tell you the facts.
Why do we always want to leave our own legacy? Why can't we build for the people? Is it about the political parties? Is it about the leaders? Is it not about Ghanaians who go and cast their votes? Why are we not concentrating?
Let me tell you the
them?
difficulty with NAPCO. And it is something that runs through every flagship policy of the NPP. Do you know why? There is no genuine commitment to any of the flagship. They are all populist political policies. You understand the point? What is the source of funding?
So why don't you just fix it?
Yes. So that's why we have said that. For example, for free SHS, John Mahama will create a fund. We will streamline a fund that will fund free SHS. It is the same way with NAPCO. There is no commitment. Government wants to get a group of people, about 100,000, 200,000, create a semblance of employing them so that when it's getting closer to election, they will give them money and they'll go and vote. These people will not get permanent employment. That's why John Mahama is saying, under the 24 hours economy, we are boosting the private sector to open their tentacles, to change from working 8 hours to 24 hours, so that young people will have sustainable jobs to eke out a decent living. He has also mentioned that under the big push policy, we are committing $10 billion to completing every government project that is in the bush. All projects that the NDC left, that the NPP has not continued. All projects NPP started and NPP has not continued. He is completing all of them. So if it is a hospital, we will complete it, employ doctors, employ nurses, so that at the end of the day, it is why not? They have already started. We will complete it. But the point is that there was no commitment. It was a political.
What's your plan for YEA?
Oh, of course. I mean, when we come, we'll look at what YEA is doing. We did some under the NDC. We'll look at what the YEA is doing. If it is befitting of continuity, if it makes sense to the people, if it will make sure that young people will eke out a decent living, the young people will get permanent, sustainable employment. John Mahama is a very compassionate leader. He is simply going to do it. Just like John Mahama and Professor Mills did for N1, just like they did for Buidam, which was President Kufuor's project. The NDC is noted for continuing this project. I promise you young people that John Mahama is a compassionate leader. He's a leader that is visionary. He is a leader that is deep, and he will make sure that whatever he has said, he is going to implement it.
All right, and for we as Ghanaians, all we are looking for is who can do it for us. So the feasibility is the most important thing. It's not about the campaign promises. I'll take a few comments, and then I will come back into the studio. Isaac Ofie will also be on to tell us exactly what is happening. With regards to some that I'm gathering, some of the reports that I'm gathering is telling me that Trump is leading by 265, and for you to win, you need 270, and Trump is leading with 275 currently. And so I'll read a few comments, and this segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. No matter the gadgets you're looking for, just go to Franco, and they will serve you. Still phone, papa. All right, so let me see the messages that I have so far. All right, so I'll start with this. This one says, good morning, Roslyn. Good morning, Roslyn, and the entire Joy Prime. The records are straight. No amount of lies and propaganda will bring NPP back to shower hardship on Ghanaians again. It is possible that the NPP is losing. Never again shall Ghanaians be denied their rights. Good morning, Roslyn. I want to book you on a date with Honorable Emmanuel Ameplenu. You're a perfect pair. Really? With this few days left, we are no more worried at all. NPP has won this election already. We don't have time to waste on the dead goat. NPP has won the election, and the NDC won't understand. We are focused. All right. Koresko Zakaria says that the NPP can speak out their goiters together with the incompetent Baumia, yet you will lose. He said, if we solve all the problems now, what would he solve if he's president to Fiakwa? He will lose. He has no solution. Okay, he should answer the 5 questions. Why is the cedi depreciated so bad to 17 cities? Why inflation was 54%? Why Mahama debt 122 billion rose to 763 billion? Why Mahama unemployment 8.4 rise to 14.6? Why interest rate above 30%? Why you borrowed over 6 billion cedis from Bank of Ghana so that Ghanaians will judge and vote. You're a failure. We are voting Mahama. All right. Please inform Baumia that the customs of GN Bank in Doma East constituency have not received our savings and the bank when it was closed. We need our money. He should pay us. In 2016, one could touch the NPP's campaign promises. 1 district, 1 factory, 1 village, 1 dam, 1 district, $1 million, etc. He failed in all these promises. NAPCO was fine idea, but NAPCO trainees were scammed. The thumbs of those scammed are waiting come December 7th. 2024, the wind of presidential comebacks is blowing with Trump coming back. Patrick from Accra. Dear Rosalind, it baffles me when I hear and see Baumia campaigning as if he's in opposition. Baumia is the cause of our current economic mess, but he has craftily run away from economic issues and now claims to be digitalization. In 2016, a gallon of petrol was 14 Ghana cedis, $1, 3 cedi, 80 pesos. Ghana cedis. I filled my 14.5 kilogram cylinder with 45 Ghana cedis, and now under Baumia, I use 400 Ghana. Debt to GDP was 56.5%, unemployment was 8% and 14.7%, and I can go on and on. Clearly, Akufo-Addo and Baumia's government have monumentally failed and has pillaged and plundered Ghana's resources as there is no tomorrow. I urge well-meaning Ghanaians to vote massively against the corrupt and incompetent Akufo-Addo and Baumia's government. Good morning, dear Charles Echampong. Honorable Akisme from Sefibekwa, empowering the future, why NDC's youth manifesto stands out as a concerned citizen and advocate for youth development. I firmly believe that the NDC manifesto prioritizes the needs and aspirations of Ghanaian young people. NDC's youth-centric approach addresses critical example, education, employment, healthcare. NDC's commitment to youth empowerment is genuine and comprehensive. Good morning, Roslyn. I wonder the type of communicators NPP send out to communicate. It's sad. The NPP communicator is just, okay, you're saying, what has the completion of Agenda 111 got to do with investigating of anyone? Is he aware Baumia's office has been indicted for stealing rice at the port? Is he aware Baumia has been indicted for taking appearance fee? Good morning, Roslyn. Please ask the NPP guy, what is the outcome of investigation against former President JDM? They appointed Mr. Amidu to their NPP job, but Mr. Amidu said former President JDM is not corrupt, but Nanado and Baumia are mother serpent of corruption. Daniel from Bando. Good morning. Is the NPP not feeling ashamed for promising job creation when you owe NAPCO trainees for 9 months over 3 years and still have the courage talking about jobs? Why should you starve me when I work without payment? What kind of trust will I have for this government? You deceived us with scam initiatives like NAPCO and you're still promising. What kind of government is this? We are waiting for them to design and polish another scam initiative for this 2024 election. You cannot pay and still you are promising. Why do they put guns on their heads? Oh, why do they put guns on their heads? That's a question. Okay. Sami Boache from Samanka say, we will cast our vote for Dr. Baumia to secure a prosperous future for our children. We, the discerning citizens of Ghana, will not forget the past to do so. We have made up our minds to overwhelmingly support the NPP led by Dr. Baumia, who is listed as #1 on the ballot. Simply vote #1 for leadership that delivers solutions. Sincerely, Honorable Charles Champo. All right. Al-Hassan Sise from Zeno Central says, good morning to everyone. Fellow Ghanaians, wise up, because Dr. Baumia is at it again with usual lies about creating jobs for the youth and pumping some $30 million into the private sector. But lies, and Baumia should be reminded that NAPCO job NAPCO jobs come and $1 million per each constituency is still in our minds. And this time around, those lies want to work for Dr. Bawumia and the NPP. Teacher Kojo from Tepa says, Dr. Bawumia, I pray he never changes. His personality attracts many, both young and old. Ghanaians are blessed to have a good son who will help develop our country. We must continue to support him with our prayers as he works hard to win the election that will make him our president. The NPP must not relax until the EC has declared the winner December 7th elections. Okay. U.S. economy is hard not because of COVID by fighting a proxy war in Ukraine, but they are doing well than ours, so don't try to use U.S. economy as an example. You failed us. Good morning, Roslyn. And Ghana, I'm surprised at the statement by the NPP rep in your studio. How can Alhaji Bawumia win this election if integrity is anything the Ghanaian voter takes into consideration? We can trust John Mahama, who will tell us that he can and cannot do than the one who promised heaven and couldn't deliver. Ghanaians will not vote for a double-standard Bawumia who brought e-levy and seeking another opportunity to come and abolish it. The umbrella is a symbol of salvation. Ghanaians are voting for John Mahama and German South is voting. Okay, Akwansi Gariba, have I done Akwansi Gariba from Tamale says, among the presidential candidates in Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Bawumia is the only leader who has the capacity to create jobs for the youth of Ghana based on his track record as the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. He has initiated 33 policies as the Vice President to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's presidency, which has created a lot of job opportunities for the masses of Ghana. Ghanaians cannot afford to vote for a leader who told Ghanaians that they have chewed the meat to the bone. I urge Ghanaians to vote massively for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for his knowledge base and understanding of global economy. Okay. Good morning, madam. You can tell the NPP man there to stop shouting. Let him know Dumso is not a deliberate thing by JDM. Like he said, COVID to Dumso is not kinky and fish that any government can go and buy. Dumso was a generational problem and Mahama solved it. He said Mahama, as vice president, should mention any policy he implemented. Let him know governance is not an individual work and ideas. Bawumia claiming he alone bring 33 policies show how hypocrite he is. He shifts from the bad one and embrace the good one. Such a person wants to become president in Ghana. God forbid. Okay. Belinda says, okay. Hello, good morning to you. I just want to tell the NPP guy that he should speak with facts and stop raising voice. Okay, he said you. Good morning, afternoon listening. Good morning. Listening to John Mahama will win with a gap of 2 million votes. Okay, you, Hakim, we hear you. Good morning, Roslyn. All the things that my brother outlined Mahama is coming to do, why didn't he do when he was in government? He has forgotten the nursing training allowance, children sitting under trees, bad roads. Ghana will assess NDC MPP before going to vote. Mahmoud's okay. I'll do the last one, and then I'll take a seat and go to America. When your NDC party members are given the opportunity to speak, you as a host... Okay, so Aziz Bayo, yesterday, somebody says, I am MPP. Today, you are saying I'm NDC. You people, I don't know what's wrong with you, some of you. Because yesterday, somebody says, hey, Roslyn, you are always supporting MPP, and you are for the MPP, and you are biased towards NDC. This morning, you too, Aziz, you are saying that I'm biased for what? NDC. Oh, please, you people, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not fair. We are here. We are fair. If we have to ask questions, we will ask the questions. And the fact that today is not going your way because I'm asking questions doesn't mean that I'm for any party. I am not for any political party, so swallow your saliva, okay? All right. Anyway, are we ready to move to America? Okay. So time to move to America. What is happening? Now, my sources are telling me that currently Donald Trump is leading with 265. Now, all you need to get is 270 to become the president of the United States of America. Isaac Ofieje, my colleague here, and he is a data analyst, is on Zoom joining us. Okay, so actually, Kofi will be joining us in studio. This time around, not on Zoom, but Kofi is joining us in the studio to tell us exactly how it looks like. But, gentlemen, Nima?
Yeah.
Why is it surprising to see Trump lead at this time?
Well, I think that I'm not surprised. I think that he's campaigned and is the voice of the people. And before I delve into that, permit me to respond to some of the...
Hey, we have moved to another topic.
No. Permit me to respond to some of the things. You see, it's so surprising the hypocritical nature of my friends from the other side. Dr. Ayi sits here and he says that, why are we always using COVID as an excuse? You see how hypocritical the NDC can be? Yet their flag bearer will go to a conference outside and be admitting that the COVID and Russian-Ukraine war is a crisis, or it's part of the crisis that we are going through today. So that tells you that the NDC are aware that the COVID and Russian-Ukraine war is part of the crisis or is contributing to the things that we are seeing today. However, they have blindfolded their eyes, just like to have a small bottle and cover it with a handkerchief for you not to see the contents of it. That is what the NDC is telling us, hypocritically. So I think that when he sits here and says that why are we using COVID as an excuse, that is hypocrisy. He should tell us, if he's not in this country, if he has not read globally, that COVID, Russia-Ukraine war is contributing to some of the things happening within the economies. Again, I want to ask him, he is within the medical sector. Is he not appreciating the fact that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has been able to improve the medical stream in terms of policies? One of the things, maybe 10 years ago, he was not a medical doctor. When you go to a hospital, you have to go there with your folder. They have to now be struggling to be looking for your folder. But today, because of e-pharmacy, because of the light of e-health, these things are no more. This is a time where you go to the hospital, all you need to do is just mention your name. They'll input it into the data. Your folder will be retrieved. Is it not appreciating at least NDC? We should stop that. You are a medical student. Are you not happy that today? Sorry. You are a doctor. Are you not happy that today, at the comfort of your home, you can be able to request for a drug when it is prescribed for you? You can be able to choose among which of them you think you can afford. Well, let's commend the Vice President for initiating this initiative. Again, he sits here and says that they are going to create more jobs with women's bank.
You let us go to America.
And he sits here and says that we are going to create more jobs with women's bank and all of that. Are we not in this country? Is it a replica of Sedinam Tamakulo's women's bank? Sedinam Tamako, who we are actually chasing.
But Sedina never started a bank.
But you are where she was the CEO of Maslock.
Maslock was not a women's bank.
Please,
Maslock has never been a bank.
It has never been a bank. However,
that is being manned by people who are in charge under the NPP now.
What is the difference? What is the difference? Maslock is giving small businesses funds to.
But it's not a bank.
Hold on. I have worked in a bank before, so I know what I'm talking about. Maslock gives small loans to people to inject into their businesses. Their women's bank they are talking about is to help the traders. And it is a similar thing that Maslock was doing.
No, but
hold on. You don't interject. You can come in.
I have to come in.
You see, when Sedinam Tamako, who has equally failed in Maslock, now they want to create something.
No.
He's here talking about decentralizing and ensuring that they cancel double track. Are you aware that double track came as a result of the numbers that happened? And for now, let me tell you, if it's not aware, this year's placement has been able to resolve tell the double track system. So the NDC should spare us they are non-fat things. In fact.
Okay. Let's go and see what is happening in America currently.
The freedom not just to get by, but get ahead. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom to make decisions about your own body. We choose a future where no child lives in poverty, where we can all afford health care, where no one is above the law. We believe in the promise of America, and we're ready to fight for it. Because when we fight, we win. So join us. Go to KamalaHarris.com and let's get to work.
I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves.
In this election, we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? There are some...
This is the state of America, and Isaac Kofi J, aka Joy News, is here. Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. You know, people are thinking that Trump is in the lead just because of race. But is it race or is economy?
I also have a question for you. Were you very intentional about the color of your dress today?
Oh my God, why is everybody asking me this? I'll tell you something behind the scenes. I had a conversation with someone, and I'll tell you what transpired yesterday. I'll share with you right after the show. I can't share it on air. This is too private for TV. And so let's see what you have.
Well, we'll be going to the numbers very soon, but definitely not race. We've seen the Gallup polls that looked at the top 22, issues that the American voter is actually very, very keen on, and economy was number one in terms of this issue. Now, before the polls even started, this was the Gallup's final, poll that we saw that put Harris around 49% and Trump 44%. But we definitely know that the current results we have doesn't really depict this. It's a comfortable lead for Trump at the moment. Now, I want us to look at, some of the issues that we've been tracking so far. This is actually the popular vote trends. I want us to understand the American election, where it's unlike Ghana, where we win elections with 50% plus one.
Yeah.
America, you need 270 of the 538, what they call the electoral vote. And if you win that, you are on your way to the White House. And that is what Trump is actually doing at the moment. Historically, the Republicans are not good at winning, popular votes.
Right.
But this year, something interesting is happening. Trump isn't only winning the electoral vote, but he's also winning the popular vote by more than 51%. The last time a Republican candidate actually won a popular vote was under Bush. He won it in 2004 with 62%. No other president or presidential candidate belonging to the Republican Party has actually, won a popular vote by that margin. Now, let's look at other indicators that we've been looking at. This is the popular votes that we've been looking at. This is the road to 275. Now, we've been saying that popular vote not really that important in the American election, although it shows who will win the Electoral College. But this is usually the big deal. If this is the big deal, then this slide actually explains it better for you to understand what is actually happening in the U.S. Slide 5, explains it better, where it tells you all, political parties. This is it. Okay. Now, this is from 1992 to 2020. Why is this important? We chose this period because of the similarities the Ghanaian election actually has with that of the U.S. when you look at the data this way. So this is, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, and Biden. What do you see? What you see is that even with the Electoral College votes, what we are seeing is that the best president in this period under review isn't Bush in terms of Republicans, but rather, Donald Trump. He is the only Republican candidate or presidential candidate that has actually won more than 300 of the 538 electoral, college votes. Bush couldn't do it. The first person to do it in this period was actually Clinton, who is actually the Democrats, one of their presidential candidates. And you have also Obama doing same. But this is interesting for us to look at the key issues that influence the Americans. You asked a very important question about race, but definitely this data tells you that this year's election was way, way, way beyond just race. Economy was number one. According to the Gallup poll, 52% said economy was extremely important, more than half. If you add it to those...
There was a point where there was shortage of tissue, toilet paper.
Exactly.
There was shortage
In some
of,
states.
In some states, there was shortage of, I think, other toiletries and all, and even milk to an extent, and it created inflation.
Exactly. Now, if you go to one of the economic hubs, such as New York, for instance, where cost of living is so really high that even rent, the average rent that people are paying in areas around, Broadway and St. Nicholas, around $1,300. If you go to Bronx, you can get as high as $1,000 and even $1,500, depending on the accommodation. So definitely, economy was top. Now, one key issue that made me realize that, look, the Americans are not joking about their economy was when we were all looking at Jerome Powell to whether cut rate or maintain rate. They decided not to look at the rate cut on the side of inflation, but on employment, because they saw the job numbers and they realized that unemployment was still very high. Look at this, just tally 52 plus 38. What you realize then that means 9 out of 10 of the registered voters in America were actually, keen on election. Democracy, definitely a big issue. Then comes a key question. If democracy was a key issue or is a key issue, why is Trump in the lead? Because he's touted as anti-democrat or anti-democracy or, someone who is an authoritarian. Terrorism and national security, big issue. Why? Because of the war in Ukraine and America's involvement in the
war,
absolutely.
Right? Yeah, because that war has become an issue with regards to their vote parting. I watched one analysis on it, and the people actually had a problem with the fact that the US was part of it. There was a huge investment in that particular war, and they did not understand why the Americans were actually supporting their opponents. And so, in a way, it did affect them.
Another important issue that actually caught the attention of myself and Evans Mensah was the type of Supreme Court justices candidates would pick.
Wow.
Very important issue. 45 plus 34, it means we are hovering about 70% of American voters using this issue as one of the benchmarks. Then comes immigration, where Trump was really heavy on. More than 70% of the voters said immigration was a top issue. Now, going into the election, I want us to look at both the Democrats and the Republicans to see the nationalistic nature of what was important to those who were going to actually vote. Okay. Now, in America, data is so open that you can actually, know the background of a voter, and that's not a big problem, unlike possibly in Ghana, where those who participated in the poll, in terms of the Democrats, what were the big issues that was important to them? Economy, immigration, terrorism and national security, crime, taxes. So this actually feeds into the national figure or the national picture, unlike that of the Republicans, where it was more of individualistic, wants or needs. Let's look at that one and see how that also looks like. Now, in terms of that, you see that it shifts from the economy, which is a national issue, to issues such as abortion. Just look at it. Number one is democracy. Interesting. Types of Supreme Courts also in the national picture. But when you begin to go to the last three, then you see reproductive health, abortion, healthcare, education. And Kamala Harris was really heavy on that. Now, this for me was the slide that broke the camel's back in terms of Kamala Harris. Just look at this. Who do you trust to solve all of these issues? Now, let's start with the economy. Who do they trust?
They went for Donald
More
Trump.
than half said that they believe Donald Trump was, better placed to solve the economic situation. Immigration, which is a big issue, featured in the top 5, issues. They say Donald Trump. Foreign affairs, Donald Trump. Gun, policy, it was almost tied between the two of them. Healthcare, now they begin to go into the domain of Harris, where healthcare, abortion, and climate change actually features. These are possibly not really national issues.
Yeah.
They may be state-level issues, but these issues we're very national, especially foreign affairs, where we start to talk about the ordinary American not getting jobs, but they see billions of dollars being invested in wars. So that means foreign affairs will be really, really key.
And Trump actually has a record of no war.
Of no war, yeah. And he said that if you vote for me, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to end the war between Ukraine and Russia by the 20th of January. He's actually given a timeline. And he's saying that, look, I am going to be anti-NATO. I am not going to pour money into what the so-called NATO alliance or what have you. But there are, credible information to say that in the back door, Trump to seem to, support Netanyahu and say, look, go ahead and do whatever that you want. But now he almost has that power. The truth is that we'll be gauging the promise versus what has actually been,
if we take
implemented.
A look at Trump, when he was in power, whatever he said, he did.
Exactly. I mean, that makes the whole thing very, very interesting. Now, we have, other slides that I want us to look at on other key issues, but let's choose this issue, which is immigration, and let's look at this is why this is important, because for us in developing economies, immigration is a big issue for us because we love to travel to the US. So their immigration laws actually affect us. What are they talking about in terms of immigration? Trump is almost all the time very outright. He's saying that he's going to carry out the biggest deportation exercise in the U.S. Should you be worried while living in the U.S.? If you're undocumented or unauthorized, you should be worried. But if you are in the U.S.
The thing is, the people that don't have the papers could not vote.
Exactly. They couldn't vote. So, I mean, those who decided for them have actually now decided their fate. And he is saying that this number could go, in terms of the deportation numbers, could go as high as 20 million people. The last time we saw such a high figure was under Clinton, where he deported 12.3 million people. In fact, Obama was actually tagged as deporter-in-chief, where he deported more than 5 million people. Trump himself, under 4 years or in 4 years, deported 1.5 million people. So many people will say, if you compare Trump and your so-called black president, he deported more people than your anti-African presidents, who actually deported 1.5 million people. If you look at Biden, 1.1 million people. He's still not done yet. He still has about some days to go. But the numbers we have as of September this year was 1.1 million people. But I mean, these are some of the key issues that we've been looking at. Now, in terms of the top issues, what is really important in the geopolitical space, the war in Ukraine, NATO alliance, climate change, aid for Ukraine, immigration, key issues. Now, why are these issues important? China. Let's keep an eye on China. This is why China is important. Now, we know that Trump has been promising that if he becomes president, he's going to impose tariffs as high as 60% on all goods coming from China. Why? Because he wants to, enhance domestic, production of goods and services. That is why you see Elon Musk actually following Trump. Not because Elon Musk doesn't have anything to do, that's why he's following Trump, because he's protecting what he has. Why? Because AI has become an important conversation in our economic space, chip manufacturing, which if you read and listen to Bloomberg this morning is one of the big commodities being traded. And US want to be the leader in this space. China is also trying to be the leader. In the space of electronic vehicles, we are seeing China competing with the US. So definitely, if there's a president who could place sanctions or tariffs on companies from China, then definitely anybody who is into electric automobiles will definitely be behind Trump. That's why you possibly will see, Elon Musk behind Trump. But it's the whole AI space and so many, things surrounding, technology, battle. So they feel that Trump could actually solve this. But in terms of Harris, she was promising, a good relationship with China and, international relationship that possibly is not as stringent as that of Trump. Those of us in Africa,
This is ours.
This is what is important to us.
Yeah.
Immigration, LGBTQ plus activities, trade, grants, climate funding. Now that Trump is president, you should expect that climate funding will actually go down because he has promised to scrap that Paris, climate agreement. He said America is not going to commit to funding any policies under climate because he sees it as a hoax. He doesn't see it to be real. Grants under Trump, we've seen the data under AGWA has not been that encouraging. So Africans should watch out under Trump. Trade between Africa and Trump's administration also really went down between 2016 and 2019. But look, even if you look at the NPP, they had their best period under Trump. From 2017 to 2019, before COVID struck, that was NPP's best performing period, where they had single-digit inflation. Inflation was within a very, very good bound. Debt to GDP ratio was good. They could go to the international capital market and be touted as trailblazers. They were getting money from the Eurobond market. That means that when Trump was in power, the NPP actually really, really benefited. And if you ask Americans, who do you think will solve the economy better? They say Trump. And when America's economy is in a good position, every economy in the world will also take a seat and rest. Because when America begins to fight inflation, what happens is that they begin to mop up the available dollars in the system. And you and I who are here, who depend on dollars to do importation, because our fundamentals, I don't want to use the word weak, but I mean, I don't want to be attacked.
Is it strong?
Well, depending on how you look at it, but because our fundamentals are not like that of the US, the smallest shock in the international space will affect our CD. And so if Trump comes and the American economy is stable, trust me, the CD will also get some respite, Rosalie. So that's what we have for you at the moment in terms of what is happening in the US. In terms of the race, Trump has taken a comfortable lead. But what is important to you as an African or as Ghanaian is that there are certain policies that you should be watching out,
so
especially
you should be
trade.
watching out for immigration, LGBTQ plus, because in this particular
He doesn't support it.
He doesn't support it. And so there's a high possibility that this bill will be passed very soon, since he is now the president. No matter who becomes the president of Ghana, this particular bill will be passed very soon.
Maybe we might not be getting pressure from America to
the pressure was
it.
coming. Yeah, the pressure was coming from there because we received a certain amount of.
And in fact, Harris was actually chose Ghana as one of her destinations when she visited Africa last year because of the key issues surrounding LGBTQI plus activity. Now, possibly she may not be going back to the White House. Trump would definitely be doing a second coming. How important would this issue be to him?
People actually thought it was going to be a close call, but it's not. It's quite surprising, isn't it? There's a huge gap.
For me, when I started seeing the data around 12 a.m., 1 a.m., and in fact, the red wall states were being called, and I was not surprised. But until I began to see some of the swing states, we said that, I mean, if you look at this year's election, it will be won by anybody who makes a lot of inroads in terms of the swing regions or the swing states. So as soon as the Democrats actually lost, North Carolina, I knew that it was going to be a long night for them. And in fact, Pennsylvania, I remember Trump's famous greeting, right? Hello, Pennsylvania. He actually won Pennsylvania, where we all thought that Harris was actually going to win that state
especially
easily.
Going last minute with Oprah Winfrey.
Exactly. The Gen Z voters were about 8 million people. It turns out they couldn't do much, and they lost that to the Democrat. 19 electoral college vote. That's very significant.
That's super significant. And as of yesterday, we thought it was going to be super close. But we are surprised that it's nothing like that. Dr. Aye, are you surprised?
I am not surprised at all. Because the same campaign Kamala was doing is the same campaign the NPP and Baumia are doing. They are preaching change. They are giving a lot of, sorry to say, unintelligent excuses to the people of Ghana, just as Kamala and her people were doing in the United States. And then people in America are just as smart as the people of Ghana are. Today, even a child born today knows that the NPP has failed, and that their talkative vice president, who claimed that he knew everything in the economy, under his leadership, Ghana has witnessed the worst economic outturns ever. Today, 1 million people have lost their monies. Today, inflation is skyrocketing. Today, $1, which was 4 cedis in 2016, is now has crossed 17 cedis. 1 gallon of fuel, 13 cedis, is now 70 cedis. So, by any stretch of the imagination, no matter how you look at it, it is about the economy. And the people of Ghana, their lives depend on how the economy is. Ghana is largely an import-driven country. A lot of businessmen importing things, and they use dollars. Most of the companies have collapsed. Most of their businesses have collapsed because of the shambolic management of the Ghanaian economy.
All right, Dr. Aye.
The very man who has been responsible for this management is Baumia, and he must not be voted for.
Let me cut you a bit. Donald Trump is making a statement currently, and so we want to cross over and take a look at what
no problem at all.
And it came to me, do you mind if I use your... Nobody wanted to give him a rinse because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit, and I went, and I said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it, and it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words, because people love to hear from him. Dana, please.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard-working man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelt Boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn.
So, Kofi, Donald Trump has declared himself as the winner for United States of America's elections. And so he's the president-elect, as he has told everybody. He's the president-elect of the United States of America.
You don't need a lot of permutations to actually declare yourself winner in this instance. And I've never seen Trump smile this bright, except today. That smile he actually displayed behind, the pulpit, actually shows how the kind of work he's put in this and the kind of relief he gets at the moment. He made an important statement before the polls actually started that his win was going to be so big that nobody can actually rig the election.
Wow.
And it looks as if he was a prophet of his own, and he was able to actually predict this. This is definitely one of their biggest wins by any stretch of imagination. We all thought it was going to be very close. I never thought that right from the word go, he was going to lead till the end. And in fact, their strategy worked. Previously, Republicans were not known for early voting. But this time around, when we saw the early voting data, and you and I have been deliberating on it, you could see that right from the word go, they started voting early. And unfortunately for her, she could not, bring those, voters with very low propensity to vote. I'm talking about the Gen Z voters that she was trying to appease to. They have a very low propensity to vote. So if you do not really work on them, you definitely will not see the White House. And Trump, I think, that deserves this, and he's really fought this, fight till the end. And I'm really happy that he's actually, smiling at the end. Possibly, let's all see what he has for Africa. For me, that's the most important thing.
That's the most important thing for all of us. And Donald Trump is the president-elect for the United States of America. And so I'll take my final point from my super guests who have been here. Kofi, thank you so much for being here. And we are very grateful that you could make time. So Kofi is leaving. However, Emmanuel and Dr. Aye, just a quick one from you two. History has been made. History has been made. It's history. It's very historic because having somebody who used to be in the White House, his words were, I should have never left the White House. Now he's coming back. America has given him another opportunity to come and fix a problem they feel is there, the economic problem, the inflation, jobs, and all of that. Now, for the NPP, you have seen this happening. What is your take?
Well, thank you very much. I think that, just as I said at my initial comment, I said that wherever it goes, the NPP is still the winner. The reason being that this is a man who has been fiercely lambasted with all sort of machinations. We saw even the media stream, how they have to tag him as a liar and all of that. A whole lot of things were said against him. And again, he is a man who has also campaigned like no president before. So likening him to what is happening in Ghana here, what it tells you is that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, he's not resting. And if you witness, it is there for all the media to talk about. He is the only flag bearer who has campaigned across all the 15 regions so far. He's been to every single constituency. Just compared to our brothers from the other side. They have not been to all the regions. They've not been to all the constituencies. Even in my own region, that is seen as the World Bank. When they came, it was pick and choose. They were selecting your World Bank, your own children, that you should visit all of them. You decided to just select some of them and then speak to because they feel that they have won the election already. But I am very optimistic that the center-right party winning is a win for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. The center-right party winning is a win for the Elephant family. It is a big win because the same way he was tagged as a liar, the same way that the media came together and formed a cabal to chastise him and all of that, it is the same thing we are receiving in Ghana over here. What didn't we see from the opposition? To the extent that one of your sister stations has to even pull down how do you call it, this X platform that was created by the opposition, that was using it as liar and all of that. Who did that? But today, it is a testament for us to believe that you can call Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia all the names. But one thing I know is that he does not have a drinking problem. And for that matter, he is very visible on the ground. He is telling the people what he can do. He is telling them his manifesto. He is telling them his policies. He is saying that if you think that you have done well as a former president, come to the debating table. Don't be sitting on the fence and be throwing insult. For Christ's sake, you are an elder statesman. You should rather be giving advice and not to be insulting people.
As far as we are concerned, there's nobody with a drinking problem who is on the ballot sheet. Everybody on that ballot sheet is credible. And that is why everybody has been approved on that ballot sheet. There is nobody like that. Thank you very much.
I am not sure I made I only made a comment. So you can decide as to how you want to go.
I'm just saying, because I don't want to.
There have been a lot of commentaries that came.
No, but that particular commentary, that particular comment.
But the liar thing, that one, you didn't see any problem with it? But the liar thing, you didn't see any problem with it?
Emmanuel, please.
No, Rosalind. So the liar thing, didn't see anything wrong with it?
Let's continue. When we take a look at how America voted, economy, LGBTQ, employment, this is the pattern they voted with. Could this pattern also affect our voting or be a part of our voting process?
Of course, but it's a simple. What I told you earlier that no matter how you stretch the debate, it is about the economy. Just as it happened in America, Ghana's economy is in shambles. There is no way the people of Ghana will vote for the man who has been at the center of the catastrophic destruction of our economy. There is no way. Just as America has chosen a second-hand car over a tear rubber car. Just as America has voted, for a president who lost and has come back again. It's the same way the people of Ghana who vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who lost in 2016, but people have seen through the light that he is the one capable of taking Ghana from this quagmire that we find ourselves. I mean, as for the campaign of Simiari against your mama, I don't even want to go there because I mean, those of us sitting on this platform, we know that other people also have credibility issues. I just don't want to mention it. There are serious issues that people have, including people being investigated, being arrested, and people being bailed. When you go online, it is there. I don't want to go into it. It is a fact. If you want to challenge it, we can go into the details. No amount of, intimidation, slandering against John Mahama will work. The people of Ghana have seen that his records are clean. Under him, Ghana was able to make sure that the economy was stable. Ghana did not undergo a domestic debt exchange program. Fuel was not 70 cedis per gallon. Dollar did not reach 17 cedis. And so business community in Ghana that have always been receiving calls that they want to meet President Mahama. They want to talk to him. They want to listen to what he wants to do. And a lot of people have seen that it is clear. So no amount of words can change it. Look, what America has done is the same thing the people of Ghana will do. And I can tell you on this platform, record me. I'll be back here in this studio on 9th of December.
You follow along queue because your people have all said that they'll be back.
We'll come together. We'll come together.
We'll
all come together. We'll all come together. You understand? We will all come together. So I'm telling you on this platform that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is the next president of the Republic of Ghana. The people of Ghana will not vote for me. How can you vote for a man who stands on the podium, tells you that he's an economic wizard? His wife tells you that her husband is an economic wizard, yet has not been able to produce one economic song. Since I grew up, I know wizards compose songs. Not even one economic song has been composed by Dr. Baumia. Not even one economic success has been chalked by his government. A man who stands on a platform, touts his economic credentials, only for him to come and tell you that he's a driver's mate. Completely irresponsible. How do you go and vote for such a person to be your leader?
Everybody
today he tells you that
ballot sheet is responsible.
Oh, of course. But
everybody
today,
on that ballot sheet is responsible.
I'll tell you, today he tells you that he doesn't care a hoot if Asogli phase 2 shuts down for Ghanaians to be in Dumso. He doesn't care a hoot if dollar is 17 cedis. Because if he solves the problem today, what will he solve when he becomes president? So the people of Ghana should die. He
didn't say that.
But that's what he said. Did you listen to his speech? He said, if I solve all the problems today, what will I solve when I win power?
But he didn't say if the people of Ghana should die.
But if there are problems today, that is killing the people of Ghana and you won't solve it. You want us to die before you are voted for? No! Ghanaians will never commit such a mistake on December 7th.
All right, so America has decided and they have chosen Donald Trump. You know what? If Kamala Harris had won, I don't know if the NDC would have been singing this particular tune. It would have been something else, Yeah, I think they would have said they are the first to bring a female, so vice president. So that's how it is. Right now the PR game is on. So NPP, what's your PR game?
We don't have any PR gimmick. I've told you, when I entered into this studio, before even they came to speak, I told you that however it goes, if Kamala wins, she's a vice president, contesting, it goes in our favor. If Donald wins, he's from the center-right party, and we belong to that fraternity. So what it means is that his win is a big win for the elephant. His win is a big win for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bam. And one thing that resonates between the two of them is that the same kind of tag that was given to Donald Trump is the same tag. The liar, you not heard the liar, how they chastise him? It's the same thing that they are doing to Dr. Alhaji.
Do you know that?
But he is only one man. See, I have spoken to a lot of friends who are even from the NDC. They keep telling me that, my brother, the NPP, why you have done so much well. But the fact is that the NDC do not have any other person. That is why we've brought Mahama. But left to us alone, Mahama is nobody. We are not supposed to bring him. But today, he's the one on the ticket. We would have to just display to the cameras because he's the one on the ticket. But I am convinced and believe in the Almighty Allah and Almighty God that come hot December, inshallah, the good people of this country will measure the integrity of these two candidates. If for nothing at all, one has been given the power before, and we know how he has treated it. And one has never been a president before. We will see what the good people will do. And I want to believe that on the 9th of December, I will be in this studio in my white, with my white cap, and I will let you understand that adia nyamia tro to hono obient me
I made an Everman speak tree this morning.
A second. You recall that one of the campaign against Donald Trump was that he was a one-term president. Today, he's going into the White House. The same thing NPP has said against your mama. I can tell you on authority that on 9 December, His Excellency will walk
I'll be here with you. I'll be here with you.
So
I'll be here with you.
Look, they voted for the economy.
I'll be here with you.
And the economy has won.
I'll be here
the
with
same
you.
way Ghanaians will vote against NPP for how shambolic they have.
I shall be here with you. I shall be here with you.
We'll read a few messages before we go. Our viewers have been so supportive, and so we'll take their messages. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone, prepare for you, whatever gadget you're looking for, mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras, and many more. We've got all of them. You can download the app on your phone, which is Franco Trading app, or you can visit our website for further inquiries, which is www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still and still for prepare for you. Now, 14th to the 17th, there's something happening. What is happening? Joy Pride Made in Ghana Fair. It's happening. It's coming your way, and I cannot wait for it. I'll tell you more about it, but let me quickly read a few messages here. So this one says, anytime Republicans win presidential elections in the USA, it's an automatic presidential win for the NPP in Ghana since 1992 by Al-Hajj Premier Wa West, but they lost. They lost in 2020, honey, but you won. Okay, Mesa Majid is from Bichim, Toronto, says, America's driver mate has been booted out. Very soon, Ghanaians will boot Dr. Bawumia out as he claimed to be the driver's mate.
Simple.
Ghanaians can't continue to be ruled by the NPP under this economic hardship. Please, Ms. Roslyn, with the way the NPP guy is talking, he will push away many people from voting for the NPP. Is he really a communicator? Okay. Good morning, Roslyn. We know all of half your... I don't even know what this person is trying to say. Good morning, my beautiful Roslyn. A big congratulations to Donald Trump, and I'm confident that Ghanaians will emulate the same never again for failed economists from Nanayel Tichuman. Under the NDC, you work for 3 years and you'll be settled for only 3 months. The clear indication that DMB is winning hands down. Vote number 1 and not in Kokon Kitten. NDC never again. Mesha Kashanti says that the second independence of Ghana is about to happen in the next 1 month to come, as Ghanaians have decided to go to the polls and vote massively for President Mahama on December 7th. And there is no taxes or machinations on this earth that can be used to change the long-awaited victory. 24-hour economy is coming live and clear. Greetings. Okay. Good morning, Roslyn. Will Bawumia see heaven? Every word that comes out of his mouth. You're asking me. I'm surprised Bawumia still used the medical drone as an achievement. Where are the blood and medicines the drones are carrying? Kolebu Bank is almost empty. And why would the government send medicines to a drone center instead of hospitals? No country in its right senses does that. That's why Ghana is number 1. We always do useless things. Okay. All right. Good morning, Roslyn. You can clearly see that NPP does not respect the people of Ghana. Under normal circumstances, they should be begging Ghanaians. But what do you see? They close their eyes, shout and screaming to communicate to us. Their end has come. Okay. Good morning, beautiful Roslyn. NPP has nothing good to offer the youth of the country. How can a government who creates and collapses NAPCO banks now saying we should give him opportunity to come and create jobs for the youth? As there is a saying, Kwatakwasi Obema Untumati and Ding Maru Shaibu. Okay. It looks like this one says, okay. In 2020, you people shared flyers of Joe Biden and John Mahama as Democrats after Biden won the election. Why did you people not share the same flyer in 2020 today after Kamala Harris lost as your sister party in the U.S.? And again, when Joe Biden selected Kamala Harris as his running, you people again shared Kamala Harris and grandma pictures as a winning symbol. So what has changed? Zuza. You see that thing? Yeah. Okay, let me see what I have. All right. If you send me messages, please try as much as possible to send me very good messages. So don't send me certain words. I don't condone insulting words here. I'm sorry. It looks like the NDC is dreaming about employment and education. My school's assembly hall cannot even contain us. How can a single track system do it? Whilst dreaming, they should find a way to accomplish it. Good morning. Please, let's always do comparative analysis. How many jobs has Mahama created during his time as against the Nana Bawumia? Then let's see who has performed better. How many e-blocks have been completed? The NDC guy says they will build more infrastructure to cater for double, but your own e-blocks, you could not cater for it. Okay. Who created Unemployed Graduates Association of Ghana? Good morning, Roslyn. The NPP has got nothing better to offer the people of Ghana. Senor uses all his time to throw tantrums without telling us what solutions they have, what policies they have. He has always say NDC has collapsed companies without mentioning any figures. NPP never again. EA Metal Nunu. Okay. Good morning, Joy Prime. Please tell the NPP man that he didn't create any job for Ghanaians, but they created it for their party boys and girls. They will intentionally open the portal for YEA. Meanwhile, they had already paid their people, almost 4 batch of nurses at home, but they chose to employ Zoom nurses for SHS. This is not fair, while full-trained nurses are home. Good morning to you and your panel, especially the NPP spokesperson. I'm John from Krofrom, Ajay Nkwanta. Listen, the NPP has won this election, so he should stop worrying. It is possible. I'll do my last one. Good morning, Roslyn. Tell the NDC guy Coca-Cola moved from Ghana to Ivory Coast in John Mohammed's era. Frank Kumasi. All right, thank you all so much for sending in your messages. I really do appreciate it. And so, this all time will permit us for this segment. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you for sticking and staying with us. And we have a lot more coming your way this morning, I must say. A big thank you to you, Emmanuel Ameplenu, for representing the NPP this morning, and Dr. Sami Aye for representing the NDC this morning as well. So it's been a fantastic conversation this morning. And of course, now, we can comfortably say that Donald Trump is in the lead, and he will definitely be declared as the president-elect very, very soon. He's in a very comfortable lead. He'll be declared as a president-elect of the United States of America very, very soon. And so he will be going back to the White House, and he said he should have never left. And so he's going back to the White House, and he claims he will definitely fix the problems that he claims the Democrats have left behind. Well, like I said, this all time will permit us. In Ghana here, we have to celebrate our own. What are we celebrating? Made in Ghana. So Joy Prime is bringing you another episode of Made in Ghana. It's a Made in Ghana fair, which is happening from the 14th to the 17th at the Good Park. Now, there are so many activities. Like I say, I take it as my second birthday, like my second birthday. So we are all gathering there to have fun, to enjoy my birthday. Take it like that, all right? So on the Friday, we are having a happy hour. I'm going to make sure Andy Dusty is on the turntable and he's going to be spinning. And we're going to be jamming. We're going to be enjoying ourselves, the happy hour. Food items are going to be on the low. We are not going to pay that price that we pay in town. Is a heavy discount to party. On Saturday, oh my God, that's when I tell you that dress to kill me in your traditional attire, marriage attire. So wherever you hail from, if you're an Ewe, dress like an Ewe woman getting married. If you're a guy, dress like that. If you are from Kuma, dress like that. You know what I mean? Dress like that and come. And of course, you take pictures and we'll give maybe the best dressed person will get an award. And on Sunday, you have to be there. You have to be there. No, all of you are coming though. Yeah, all of you are coming. And I'll be waiting for you if you don't come in.
So remind me,
I'll remind you. If you don't come in,
I'll be there in my clothes, in my
dresses. And on Sunday, we have a cooking competition, And so we will be cooking. We'll be competing against, Joy Prime. We'll be competing Adom, Hits, Joy FM, Joy News, but we gonna win because we are the hub of cooking. We do the Big Chef Tertiary Edition, we do the Big Chef cooking competition. This is us. This is Joy Prime. We gonna win. Mark it on your. We gonna win. Anyway, we can't wait to see you at the Good Park from the 14th to the 17th of this month. And trust me, every item is going to be discounted. Every item. So whatever you want to buy that is made in Ghana, shoes, clothes, food, anything, discounted, heavily discounted. So be there, have fun as you shop as well. And Christmas will definitely be a good one for you. I'll take a quick break on this note. And oh my God, I nearly missed this. And why? I can't. So on Saturday, let me tell you something big that's happening. Ghana DJ Awards is coming, and it's coming, and it's coming with a bang on Saturday, guys. It's with a bang on Saturday. And you know what? Me, your girl, I'm your host. Yes, I'm going to be on the big stage for Ghana DJ Awards 2024 edition. Who is your favorite DJ? Are you voting, though? Are you still voting? You have to still vote, vote and vote and vote till your favorite DJ wins that category. And don't forget to also get your tickets. And when you get your ticket, you definitely enjoy that night. And it's proudly brought to you by Smirnoff. So it's powered by Smirnoff, and it's all about the Guinness Ghana DJ Awards. And so don't forget to go and buy your ticket. Buy your ticket. If you don't buy your ticket, don't come and tell me that, Rosalind, I didn't understand something. I don't want long talks, but I'll see you on Saturday because I know you're going to be there because I'll be there. All right, so it's Ghana DJ Awards 2024 edition, and I will be on stage. I can't wait to see you guys. Anyway, we'll take a quick break on this note. There is trends that is coming your way, and there's got to be more. Sports will also come. There'll be entertainment, and we'll get to meet some of the vendors from the Made in Ghana fair. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.